Let's do one more quick story from Mediaite. Here's the headline. CNBC anchor who had affair with ousted CEO also alleged a former executive called her the C word. The C word? Comforting, caring, contagious, cantankerous. Is that a C word? Canceled, cushy, cuck. Oh, it's none of those. It's the C word that rhymes with bunt and perfectly describes Keith Olbermann. Here's the story. Axios reported Tuesday that alleged inappropriate behavior by management at NBC Universal may extend far beyond former CEO Jeff Shell, who was fired this past Sunday for allegedly sexually harassing CNBC correspondent Hadley Gamble. Now, this Gamble chick was having a consensual relationship with that CEO Jeff Shell guy, for a decade, 11 years actually, until their infidelity was discovered by everyone when she was hosting her show via Zoom back in 2020 from a glitzy hotel room. And behind her, with a camera rolling, this dude's dumbass unknowingly loafs into the background of the camera shot, exposing the affair to everybody. Can you imagine, after 10 years of having an extramarital affair without anyone finding out, only to get themselves caught because the CEO of a television network doesn't understand how camera framing works? Nothing could stop this affair for a decade until it became yet another casualty of COVID. How'd the affair end? Got COVID. Not long after this affair ended, she obviously, took the next logical step and accused this former CEO that she was doing it with for 10 years, 11 years, of sexual harassment, and he lost his job. So now, after the affair's over and after accusing her longtime lover of sexual harassment resulting in his termination from his job, she is now able to look forward and finally focus her attention on what's next, which is accusing 2 more NBC Universal executives of harassment. This is clearly a woman who knows what her strengths are. Got to do what you do best. She claims in her allegation that the CNBC vice president, went with the vice president this time, called her the C word in front of 2 other CNBC employees, and that the CNBC international president was complicit in creating a toxic workplace culture where employees feared speaking out about harassment, which is an interesting allegation coming from someone who clearly does not fear speaking out about harassment. In fact, she seems to rather enjoy it, as though she were hired to do that very thing. Like that was her job that she was there to do. Congratulations, ma'am. We'd like to offer you the role as the new CNBC internal victim to the executives. You're going to do a great job. This poor woman has the worst luck. What are the odds that 3 of your bosses are perfectly fine harassing women at work? And how could she have known when she was hired there that the boss that she'd be sleeping with for the next 10 years would end up sexually harassing her after the affair was over? She could have never anticipated that. That's just not what you expect when all you want to do is get up in the morning, go to work, and sleep your way to the top. This woman also was the last Western journalist to interview Vladimir Putin prior to the Russia-Ukraine war. And Russia, and this is true, Russia actually accused her of seeking to distract Putin with her sex appeal during the interview, which she then responded by going straight to the HR department at the Kremlin and filing a complaint. No word yet on whether or not Vlad will be removed or have to go to some sort of sensitivity training. One more thing. She's also reported several times from the World Economic Forum in Davos. That's quite a resume there, and if it tells us anything at all, it tells us that she is, in fact, a C word. That's an understatement, actually. Like, if someone called her a C word, I would say, no. She's a big C word. Every single one of these things on this checklist qualifies her as being a C word. Like, seriously, all of these. Banging another woman's husband, C word. getting that guy fired after the affair. C word. Accusing 2 other bosses of harassment, one for calling her what she very clearly is, C word. The other for creating an environment that makes employees afraid to do something that she's obviously not afraid of. C word. Being a frequent reporter from the World Economic Forum, definitely a C word. This is an open and shut case here. Never before has there ever been a bigger C word than this C word. Can you file harassment against somebody for something that is objectively true? I mean, if there was any doubt as to whether what her boss called her was true or not, she turned right around and removed all doubt about that when she accused her other boss of creating an environment that made her afraid to speak up, when everyone there knew that she was not afraid to speak up. In fact, she was very comfortable speaking up. You've never seen somebody so comfortable speaking up. First thing she did every morning was speak up about something, accuse somebody of something. It's mind-boggling that people like this are able to get these jobs where they just continue to move up, and they're given all these opportunities because of these movements where nobody wants to say anything. Like, nobody wants to work with this person. What an awful person to be around. What an awful, awful C word this C word is. I mean, look up C word in the dictionary, and you're going to see a picture of this giant, gaping C word.